Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new podcast. This is going to be so very, very exciting. Your Miami Probate Realtor podcast with Ellen Mitchel. Ellen Mitchell is the realtor extraordinaire. If you ever need anything, not only in South Florida, but around the world, she is the realtor that you need to turn to. Her phone number is 954 292 6412, and her email address is Ellen Mitchel, and that's Mitchell with one L, realtor at gmail.com. Ellen Mitchell, realtor at gmail.com. Ellen, congratulations on launching this brand new podcast. I know you have so much to offer and share with people that are realtors, people that want to get into the real estate business, and also have to buy and sell properties. So let's go right into this right now and get acquainted on exactly who you are.
Thank you so much, Bruce. I'm really excited to be doing this, a little bit nervous since this is my first, I've been on other people's podcasts, but my first time launching my own podcast. So just excited about it, and let's get into it.
No, there's nothing to be nervous about. This is all about you. It's easy. It's an easy topic. It's an easy topic. Let's let the folks know who you are and what you really bring to the table in the world of real estate.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you I started in real estate in 94 as an unlicensed administrative person. Didn't know anything about real estate. The only thing I had done at that time was rent an apartment. And here we are 25 years later, and real estate is just a complete one of the loves of my life, and really my lifestyle in helping people to buy, sell, and relocate, specifically people that are in the senior demographic that have out-of-state family members that need to assist them in the sale or relocation of their home. So,
what was it about real estate that really attracted you to the industry? I know you started in 1994. You just discussed that you were more in an administrative role. You weren't a licensed realtor. That came a little bit later, and we'll get into that in a moment. But what was it about the industry that really attracted you and said, hey, I think I want to make a career in this?
So when I started in 94, I had a second interview at two places. One was an insurance company and one was a real estate company. I had worked in an insurance company previously, so I was sure I was going to be offered the job. I was actually offered the job at the real estate company, knew nothing about it. And within a short period of time, I really saw how the realtors in the office were able to impact the lives of the people and really being a part of such a big decision that people were making, and how they were able to really help, families. Really attracted me to the industry and made me, just went along with my desire to be of service.
So let's get into this. Before we get into you being licensed, you spent 4 years really learning the business, working in the office, being the eyes and ears before you ever decided to become a licensed realtor. What advantage do you think that gives you over other people that just decide, hey, I'm going to be a realtor, take the course, get licensed, and then go out there and start selling?
That's a great question. Actually, taking the course, it teaches you how to pass the state licensing exam. It doesn't teach you how to be a realtor. So by the time I got my license, I knew how to use the MLS. I knew the ins and outs of the sales contracts, the listing agreements, the different types of agency, whether it was single agent or transaction broker or non-agency. So I really knew about setting up showings, working with other realtors, inspection periods, what the norms were in the real estate market. And so when I got my license, I really hit the ground running because I didn't have that learning curve, that 2 or 3 year learning curve that most realtors go through. Also, the average realtor sells 6 to 8 homes a year. So they're learning on those deals. As an administrator, I was looking at hundreds of files a year. So I had just a lot of real life administrative experience and contract experience before I ever got my real estate license. It was extremely helpful.
So now we flash forward ahead to 1998. You make the decision to get licensed. You get licensed. What was that decision like? Because obviously you had grown very accustomed to working in the office, learning about the business. I'm sure that all of the realtors in the office were dependent upon you and the things that you did to get deals done, to get the paperwork in, and to make it attractive for clients. Now all of a sudden you're the boss.
So, not really. I actually was working as an unlicensed assistant for the broker of the office. And so I was in charge of all of his deals. And he is the one, he was my mentor. He is to this day, who really encouraged me. He said, I want to pay you what you're worth, but I can't have you do things like showing properties, negotiating contracts, meeting with clients without being an active realtor. And so he really encouraged me to get my license. I was very nervous about that. I had always been on salary, and he made me the very generous offer of paying for my real estate school. And he said if I didn't make more in commissions the first year than I did administratively, he would write me a check for the difference at the end of the year. I went home, told my husband at the time, and and my ex-husband now said, well, you have to do this. And so that gave me, I guess, the courage to go ahead and get my license and become, instead of an employee, an independent contractor.
This is the Your Miami Probate Realtor podcast with Ellen Mitchel. Ellen Mitchell is a professional realtor, has been so since 1998, specializing in probate, senior relocation, and out-of-state sellers. And before we get into all of the specialization that you do, let's talk about the experiences that you've had over the last 25 years as a licensed realtor, and some of the things that you've gone through in your career that really make you smile and really warm your heart, because this is an industry where it's all about finding people the home of their dreams and helping people move on from the home of their dreams.
There are so many stories. We don't have enough time in this
Oh, we will, but we'll get into them over the weeks and months and years ahead.
Okay. The thing that I really work with closely now, and that brings me so much joy, is Florida is the number one state for people to retire to. So we have people retiring here from all over the country. A lot of times, then the seniors live here and their adult children live up north. And when they decide that there's a change of life, whether it comes time for mom or dad to pass on, or they're moving from their home into an independent living facility, or moving to be closer to their adult children, the adult children need help every step of the way. So what does that look like? It looks like me coming into the home and assisting them with what can be donated, what can be sold, having someone assist them with the packing of their home, changing keys, getting the property ready for market, whether that means painting or cleaning, or having some upgrades done to have them net the maximum price of the property. And when I'm dealing with these families, just being, you see on the top, it has the little heels on the ground. Someone had referred to me as their boots on the ground. And I said, well, as a woman, I think I'd rather be the heels on the ground.
I love that logo. I absolutely love it. When you sent it over to me, I was like, that is so Ellen. That is so you. It just all fell nicely into place.
Yeah, I really take it seriously. So I love being people's heels on the ground and being able to assist them in everything from looking at the property to the day of closing and everything in between. There are so many things that go on behind the scenes that the buyer, the seller, no one really sees. And it's my job to make it that way, that I can, assist them in the marketing and sale of their home to get them the highest price in the shortest amount of time and the least amount of agita. So it's just a very, very good feeling.
Well, we're going to get into a lot more about what you do with probate, what you do with listing and selling, and all of the things that really go into being a successful realtor and being an asset for buyers and sellers, being a reference guide for buyers and sellers. And I know that you do a lot with other realtors as well in other industries. And let's talk about what you do in the community. I know you are so community focused. You are so involved in different aspects of the community. I know you have a lot of interest and a lot of loves. How does that tie in to your career and what you do as a realtor?
It really ties in perfectly. I work with a lot of different organizations locally. One of the organizations that I work with is called Families in Need. And Families in Need, they have a nonprofit aspect to them. And what they do is they take donations of gently used furniture, clothing, appliances, and they sell them at a very low cost to people in the community. And their proceeds benefit people with autism. And so when I'm working with families and they have a house full of furniture and they're downsizing, or perhaps they're moving out of state and they've made the decision that moving the contents just doesn't make sense, they don't need it, or it's too expensive to move, I'm able to bring in Families in Need, and they come in and remove the personal property, and those things are redistributed so that the value of them goes on. And I don't just call 1-800-JUNK and have them go into a landfill, but it really feels good to be able to see those personal property items go on to people that need it, and the family gets a tax deductible receipt. And so that's an organization that I work with all of the time. I also work with the Hollywood Women's Club, who does a multitude of different wonderful work in the community, whether it's partnering with Broward Outreach Center and having different events for the homeless women and children that are in their shelter, working with Community Enhancement Collaboration on their Thanksgiving food giveaway, their holiday toy giveaway, their backpack school giveaway, and many other events through the year. And just so many good organizations that are local that I have the opportunity to work with. Children's Treatment and Diagnostic Center, which treats critically ill children and also does things for their parents. They have a boutique shop for the mothers to go shopping in for at Valentine's Day to choose handbags and jewelry and stuff. And of course, the shop doesn't cost the mothers anything. But if you're a mother of a very ill child, all of your time, energy, and resources go into that child. So we like to have opportunities throughout the year to spoil the mothers a little bit because they're doing so much with so little. And those are a few of the organizations that I'm involved in.
So wonderful to be a successful professional and be able to give back to the community. And certainly you are a role model in those organizations. You're also one of the best networkers that I know. And I know that you love to connect people in different industries. I know that you're very connected, again, in the real estate industry. And you are all about referrals, both locally, around the state, around the country, and around the world.
I am. I've been very fortunate that I got involved very early with the Miami Association of Realtors. We're the largest board in the country with over 60,000 members. I was blessed to be able to serve as the president in 2017. And so I have great relationships there. I also have been very involved in Florida Realtors and have relationships with realtors around the country. Around the state. And then the National Association of Realtors, where I served as a director, committee member, and committee chair, and developed relationships with professionals around the country and around the world. So when someone has a real estate need, whether it's in Miami or Maui or Madrid, I'm able to connect them with the professional in their area to best serve them.
Hey, I'm all about having a place in Miami and Maui and Madrid.
Me too.
So that just sounds ideal, right? I mean, all great locations, all great weather. It sounds ideal. I know that you have so much passion in being a realtor. And obviously, we have just in a very short amount of time taken through the beginning of your career in 1994 to 1998 to becoming licensed, and now 25 years later, not only being successful for yourself and for your family, but giving back to the community. Ellen Mitchel is the professional realtor since 1998, specializing in senior probate and relocation of out-of-state sellers. She is your Miami realtor, really your South Florida, your national, your international realtor. Her phone number is 954-292-6412. Her email address is ellenmitchellrealtor@gmail.com, and that is Mitchell with one L. Again, ellenmitchellrealtor@gmail.com. Such an honor to talk to you. So very, very excited that you have kicked off this podcast. Being along with you is a dream of mine, and I appreciate it. So folks, every single time that Ellen drops a brand new episode of Your Miami Probate Realtor podcast, you got to check it out. It is a wealth of information. You're going to learn so much during this series. Do not miss a single episode, and share it with everybody you know inside and outside of the real estate community. And Ellen, I think you're going to have so much fun with this. Told you there was nothing to be nervous about. You came off as a pro, as you are in everything that you do, and I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you so much, Bruce. It's really a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to continuing the conversation. So visit us here again.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time on Your Miami Probate Realtor podcast with Ellen Mitchel.
Thank you.